just as a datum point, the lap speeds were around 122.2 before, and now Schumacher goes through. Now, has Senna got a problem? It's most unlike the Brazilian to yield voluntarily, first to Prost and then to Schumacher. Well, what possible answer is that Senna is going to come into the pits, I presume, for tyres. But we don't know for sure. There's 6 retirements, incidentally. Yes, we have news that it's definitely for tyres. Ayrton Senna coming in.
And so is Schumacher. So both of them in. Schumacher and Senna. Big pressure on the pit crews now.
This could change the race, because whoever is out first is going to have a big advantage. Senna goes out in 6.8 seconds. And I've missed a big... Yes, Schumacher behind him. So Senna has regained the second place that he temporarily held on that lap.
No, I'm sure he'll build himself a cushion, because you need that. These cars are very complicated. If small things, anything small goes wrong with it, towards the end of the race, he'll want that cushion. And that is the professional thing to do. And I should think he'd certainly go for 20 seconds at least before he said that was enough and comfortable enough. It may be still that it's going to be marginal to get to the end of the race on tyres, so he'll be keen as soon as possible, probably when he gets to about 10 seconds away, just to take it easy on the tyres and not over push the tyres, not spin the wheels too much or overheat them. And he can do that and still probably find a way to pull away. But Williams' superiority, I'm afraid, it's not much use trying to hide it from the others. It's plain for all to see. There's the battle for second. There was.
Jordan Lacey in the pits for tyres. He was in 4th position. And while he's getting out, let me tell you that there are 9 different constructors in the first 10 places, and that is very healthy for Formula One. And this is healthy too. Senna fighting Schumacher for second place. Alain Prost is clearing off. He's just gone round in 1 minute 19.89. That's another fastest lap, and he is 8 seconds ahead of this battle for second place. But it's Williams leading, McLaren second, Benetton third, Benetton fourth, Ferrari fifth, Ligier sixth, Sauber seventh, Rubens Barrichello in the Jordan is in 8th position, 9th is Fittipaldi in the Minardi, 10th is Johnny Herbert in the Lotus. That's how different it is on the Grand Prix in South Africa, the first of the year. But Ayrton Senna would appear now to be settling for second position, over 10.5 seconds behind Alain Prost. And the question is, can the charging young German Michael Schumacher, who carries the number 5 this year, get ahead of the Brazilian? And a word about Kyle Army, because this is not the old Kyle Army. It's a completely new circuit which was used for the first time in 1991 after the expenditure of a great deal of money, which has produced a magnificent track with superb facilities in the form of pits, garages, grandstands, all the things you want.
It's been leaking and they haven't been able to get the hydraulic pressure that they need for it to work properly. But that's the one they're going to concentrate on developing, and they feel they've done some useful test mileage at least.
Well, we're with during the winter. He's facing a disciplinary body of the World Council on the 18th of this month, and it's not inconceivable that he will be suspended. If he was suspended, in my opinion, it would be a tragic reflection on Formula One, especially now that Senna is back, because we need the racing of the kind that Senna and Prost have been giving us this afternoon. Senna has dropped back, admittedly, but remember that this McLaren is only in its initial stages. There is an enormous amount of development potential there, particularly with the electronics. And if McLaren got the slightly more powerful engine from Ford that Schumacher behind Senetton has got, they could be up with the Williams team, and it would be a great pity if Prost wasn't driving. The runners are being depleted, but the top 3 are pressing on, and particularly the second and third, and you're looking at them now. Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher. There are 4 Germans standing in front of me with those German flags who are nearly going berserk every time Michael Schumacher passes in their efforts to attract his attention by waving the German flag at him. I just hope for his sake that they don't attract his attention, because the corner after the start and finish straight is a very quick one indeed. And here he is, Michael Schumacher, in the blue and white helmet and in the yellow and green Benetton Ford, still pushing. And Ayrton Senna, of course, looking for World Championship points. We don't know whether he is going to be racing in Grand Prix after this one. It depends on all sorts of negotiations, not entirely disassociated with money, I might say. But assuming that he is, he wants every World Championship point that he can get. 3 times World Champion already. He would get 6 points for the second position that he's holding now. And Alain Prost would get 10 points for the position he's holding now. But we are now on the half-distance lap with 9 retirements out of the 26 starters, with Prost constantly increasing his lead, and he's just put up another fastest lap, 1 minute 19.729. And there is the battle, the continuing battle between Senna and Schumacher, crossing the line, and they are now 16 and a half seconds behind Alain Prost, lapping some 8/10 of a second slower than the Frenchman in the lead. There was a remote chance of rain, which I hope doesn't hit the circuit, but if it does, it's certainly going to spice things up, because everybody would have to come in and put on a set of wet Goodyears that have this asymmetrical tread pattern, which makes it a pretty exciting tyre to look at, as this is exciting too. No change, and Schumacher is pushing. If you're in that position, James, and you've got dirty air billowing about in front of you and a very difficult course to pass on, what has to be your plan?
Well, it's extremely tiring and stressful to drive right up to somebody's exhaust, and for this reason one tends to make one's attacks in sort of bursts. But Schumacher is young and strong, and he seems to be consistently trying to parry Senna. Of course, he's buoyed by the fact that he feels he's got a chance of forcing a mistake and getting through, and he's looked like he might get through a couple of times.
Fittipaldi is in 6th position. Johnny Herbert. Schumacher out. That's Michael Schumacher out of the race.
Well, he spun. It looks as if he stalled the engine. The up steering wheel off, so end of the day's work for Michael Schumacher.
Yes, because if you're pushed... Hello, here, this is what happened. Schumacher trying to take Ayrton Senna. Now, let's see if the Brazilian moved across. Indeed, he did. There's going to be a big argument about this. This, if you look at it, is reminiscent of the Senna and Prost coming together at the opening of the Japanese Grand Prix. And did they touch? Here's a replay. Yes, they did. Well, it is... I always hate to apportion blame, because only the people in the cockpit knew what happened. But from your point of view, James, would you say that there was any blame to either driver?
Well, I think Schumacher could be justified in feeling that he'd got enough inside Senna, maybe to have made Senna make room. But the problem is, you know who you're dealing with. And it was pretty predictable that Ayrton Senna would stick to his line and just come into the corner.